Hello, listeners. Welcome back. I have a very special treat for you today, and this episode is not for the faint of heart. There is a lot of strong language, gratuitous joking around, and just in general, maybe don't let your kids listen to this one. But I'm so excited that I got a chance to have my good friends come onto the show and talk to us about their new album, Hocum. So I'm excited to present to you today, Opossum, Where Art Thou? I really don't have a great way to introduce these guys other than they are Dirtbag country and they're damn professional about it. This is one hell of an episode, and I had a blast talking to these guys. So tune in and enjoy. Welcome to IPA Sessions. Welcome to IPA Sessions, a podcast for independent artists. I'm your host, Kay Jacob, and as always, this is a place where I like to provide inspirations for practical application and entertainment. And today, I have an amazing band that I'm so excited to finally get on this show. A couple of friends of mine from a very long time ago. I'm surprised we're all still alive and kicking, and these guys are doing incredible. I'm so excited to present to you guys Opossum, Where Art Thou? Please welcome to the show, Slippery Dan, Kelly Cornbread, Squirt Cobain, aka Jared Everett, and my good buddy Ruben Wright, and Kyle the Kang King. Welcome to the show, guys. Say hi.
What's up, fuckers?
What's going on? How's it going?
Hello. Hey.
Hey, this is fun. This is the most people I've had on a show before. I got 5 of you guys here. I got a whole band in session. This is great. And you guys consider yourselves, I believe Ruben described it as Dirtbag country. It's kind of like comedy outlaw country music, right?
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything. It sounds better than comedy outlaw country. So Dirtbag country just kind of rolls off the tongue, and nobody else was using it, so I picked it up off the ground.
I love it. I love it. It works. Dirtbag country picked it off the ground. That's appropriate. So tell me a little bit about you guys. You're a band. You've been together for almost, has it been 5 years or 4 years? How long has it been?
How long has it been?
It's over 5. It's got to be over.
It's at least 5, possibly
at
6.
least 5, possibly 6. And today
I think
you're
it's
here.
probably at least 5. It's probably 5.
Right around.
Yeah,
Okay.
right around 5.
And I know that you guys have expanded as a band. I know for sure that you, Jared, and Ruben and Slippery Dan have been together for the longest time. And I know Kelly and King are kind of new to the group. You guys been at least for the last 3 years, 4 years, right?
2?
Who you talking about? Me and Kelly? No, Kelly joined last February, so he's been a little over a year. And I guess technically I've been involved with you guys for the last 3 or 4 years, but I guess officially as a drummer and a live drummer around just a little bit before Kelly. So like I came in at they came in and asked me to come in as a producer to help record the album and fill in parts that they need me to fill in drums, and then I just kind of naturally joined the band in that process.
Gotcha. They sucked you right in. I love it.
They sucked me right in. Exactly.
We sure sucked me right in.
And the new album is called Hocum, which you can hear on Spotify. You can find it on Bandcamp, right? Is it Bandcamp, SoundCloud? Where can we find Hocum
It's
to
on
listen
all things streaming.
I love that.
All the major platforms.
Hell yeah, good to hear. Why don't you guys tell me a little bit about how you formed as a band? Take us through your humble beginnings.
Well,
that'll be a Jared and Ruben story.
This is a Jared and Ruben story.
Truly, to tell the story of Opossum Where Art Thou, we have to start with me, Squirt Cobain. It all started when I got asked. It all started when I got asked to play a solo show at a bar here in town called Uncle Benny's, and I had not played a show or a solo show in a while. So I called up Ruben and I said, "Hey, you want to play the show with me?" And he said,
$50 and free beer. Fuck yeah.
Fair.
So that's how it was born. And our first few shows, because we got asked to come back, and we kind of just did like John Prine covers and stuff like that. And then Ruben started, I made Ruben play Highland Tap Water, which I know is a song you're familiar with.
Absolutely love that song from our days when we used to be roommates.
Yes. So he did that. And then we started, coming up with some other silly songs to do that were kind of in that same vein. And then Ruben started writing songs like that.
Who knew he had a gift?
we I mean, the $50 and the free beer was great and all, but we weren't getting enough attention from the people in the bar. It's like every now and then an old person would come up to us and be like, I haven't heard that John Prine song in 100 years, which pretty much describes mine and Jared's musical careers to a T. Is just we make old people happy with the old shitty songs we play.
We sure do.
and I was like, well, how do we get more attention? And my whole thing was just swear a lot more and start telling filthy jokes and limericks and stuff like that. So I think that's when the cheers, we would do a cheers where we would do a limerick every now and then.
Spin him a limerick.
Let's see. There once was a man from Bel Air who was fucking his pal on the stairs. When the banister broke, he doubled his stroke and finished him off in midair. And then we would cheers, raise the glasses up. Stuff
God,
like
I love
here. And then the Where-O-Wares, the Where-O-Wares, if you're familiar with the show Hee Haw, there was this segment that they would always do where it was basically they would have one part of a song and then end it with "Where, oh, where are you tonight?" Like, so for example, one would be you had 6 kids and I had 11 and we had 4 more just a blooming like flowers. But since you left here, it sure ain't heaven. Now your kids and my kids are beating up ours. Where, oh, where are you tonight? So just silly, dumb stuff like that. So we would take them and we would start doing like, oh man, what's a good one? I went out hunting, looking for Sasquatch. I heard a twig snap and I turned my head. The beast pinned me down and I found out the hard way. They ought to call Bigfoot Big Dick instead. Where, oh, where are you? Yeah. I got fucked by Bigfoot. I think Slippery Dan definitely wrote that.
We're like a dirty version of Hee Haw.
Slippery Dan has written a lot of them.
Wow, I'll never see Bigfoot the same way.
No, you should hear the Christmas ones.
Oh,
Ooh,
goodness.
They're bad. Anyway. But yeah, so then, we started doing stuff like that. And then, life happened. And then eventually I ended up living over here at Kyle's house. And Ruben came over one day and was like, hey, you depressed piece of shit. We're going to record an album. And I was like, okay. And
okay,
he had some songs that he had written, and
we were already kind of working on it.
I mean, that's true, but then again, some life thing happened and it got in the way.
We just need to finish it,
But anyway, so then he presented me some songs and some ideas he had for some other songs that he wanted me to write, and I did, and then we started recording them over here at Kyle's house.
Yeah, and these songs, these aren't covers. The Hocum album is full original music.
They
correct?
are all original songs.
I love it.
The album itself is I had been listening to a lot of Willie Nelson and stuff, and all the old guys like that, they all had these like concept albums that told a story throughout the whole album, and I kind of wanted to do that, but make it about a town called Hocum in Louisiana that's just the worst place you've ever been to in your life. And it kind of turns out it's really an amalgamation of the shitty places that, well, we kind of grew up.
All of us. Every single one of us.
It has a lot of familiarity to it.
Chigi, Oklahoma, or wherever the fuck he's. Oolaga, there we go. And Keithville,
baby.
It's one of those meth-addled, horrible old places that it just has no hope, and things don't go well.
All right. Broken homes, broken dreams, as they say.
And so you write about it. I love it.
And broken hole.
That's
yeah.
great.
We came up with some characters and fleshed out a loose story about what was going on in this little town. And there's some dark stuff happening there, man. There normally is in small towns.
I love the song about the bar inside of the trailer. I have been to one of those. I'm well aware you guys have as well. That's a real thing. It's a real place.
Are you talking about Double Wide Bar?
Double Wide Bar.
the cleanest song on the album. That's the one you're talking about,
song
right?
on the album. Yep. Which, if you listen to that song, it's not that clean.
That song was written by me and old Slippery Dan over here.
Yeah. Speaking of Slippery Dan,
song. I love it.
Dan, we haven't heard from you yet, man. Can you kind of tell us how did you get wrangled up into this group? Because you have actually been with them for a hot minute. So what's up? What's your story? What have they done to you, man?
Well, to be certain, we started like years before even Opossum or Art Thou. We used to get together on Sundays and hang out, and pretty much anyone in the group that could pick and grin would get together and grab an instrument. And I remember back then Jared usually had a mandolin around or something, and so I would pick on the mandolin. I remember when they got, if I remember clearly enough, it was when they had got the Opossum Art Thou going. They asked me to fill in on like lead, playing just instrumental breaks and just playing the mandolin at the beginning. I was pretty much only playing mandolin.
Yep, that's a big brag, by the way. A mandolin is not an easy thing to do.
Hurt the fingers for sure. You got to play all the time, or your calluses just won't be enough.
Right. Then we have Kyle, who came along shortly thereafter. As you said, you came along right before because they just needed some guy to help produce, but then they pulled you right in.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I've been friends with. I met Jared some years back before they even started the Opossum thing. We were actually Jared and Dan, all three of us were in another project, little rap group called Fresh Enterprise.
Okay.
And that's how we all met. We were jamming then, and they were kind of already getting the Opossum thing started around the time I started joining that. And I already had a studio set up here at the house, just for, messing around for song ideas. And we somehow turned it into a little makeshift studio to make a little album, and we did it all ourselves, so I pretty much helped them set up with that. I played drums, so if there was a song they needed drums on, I was there to fill that part in, and it came out great. Everything came out great somehow. I don't know how we did it, but we fucking did it.
Yeah, I do remember years they would play and there was just no drummer. I'm glad they finally got one.
Exactly.
And thank you for sharing that. I also want to talk to Kelly Cornbread back here. Kelly.
Yes, sir.
What do you do, man? Why the hell are you here?
Well, they found me sitting at a bus stop one day. I was turning tricks, and and they were like, hey, will you be our bass player for $50 and free beer? And I was like, I don't even have to suck your dick. And they're like, well, I mean. So I mean, it was. I was like, okay, I'm in.
I love it.
But no, seriously, I've known Kyle for years, and they were finally getting out there to do live shows, and he hit me up and hey, if you know a bass player and they can help us do some live shows and get in on it, keep your ears out. And I was like, you know what, I think I might know a guy, and I was like, let me audition, let me come and hang out, and I'm down to do it because I'm in another band, Gratuitous Plug, Blood Drunk.
Nice, throw it in there.
And so doing my other band and doing this, and I've been in the scene ever since I was a teenager, and finally get to do live music with people, with all my best friends, and it's a dream come true.
Nice. And that's saying something because Kelly's old as hell.
And the most beautiful man in the entire band right there.
I am the oldest member of the band.
Keeping up. Yeah. I just want to point out something. I loved how you said they actually had you audition. I'm surprised these guys had a professional audition for you.
That's where the sitting at the bus stop on the corner came into play.
Gotcha. That was the audition.
That was the audition.
And that reminds me, we need to start making new members sign non-disclosure agreements when they join
giving
the
away
band.
Your secrets here.
Jesus Christ.
I'll get that contract signed up. Yeah, I'll get that written up real quick.
All right, so moving along. Everyone has met the band. Thank you, guys. I love hearing how y'all formed together. So going strong for over a year now. Your album came out, what was it, October of 2022? Or a little sooner than that, actually.
It was 420.
Put it out on 420.
Oh my God, it's been out for almost a year now. For over a year now.
Yeah, it's been out for a hot minute.
Apologies. I do know that my Spotify playlist popped up and it was the third most listened to band. You're welcome.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
We appreciate the 32.
All right.
You made my top 3, gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
And you said basically when you got ready to start this process to make this album called Hocum, you already had a few songs kind of written out, and you just walked in one day, nut slapped Jared over there, and said, "Hey, get out of your depression. We're going to make an album." Take me through that process, starting with the nut slap.
Starting with the nut. Well, I'll start with Dirt Track Trophy Queen, the very first Opossum original. So basically, my mom.
Oh, wow.
My mom, it was one Christmas we were sitting around and she said something about like, I'm from Minden, Louisiana, and she was talking about the differences in her day between Miss Minden and the Dirt Track Trophy Queen, because Minden had a big dirt track scene back then. I think still does. And
for those of you listening, dirt track is like a racing field.
It's a race. It's a southern. We go and we wallow in the mud with a bunch of cars.
We just have to explain dirt track to the Northerners.
Oh God, no. So dirt track.
We got a couple of West Coasters out here.
Basically, the difference is one is the epitome of beauty, and the other one is whoever has the biggest tits at the dirt track that night. And so I just started thinking of how I could work that into a song, and Dirt Track Trophy Queen was born. And then I kind of started working more story into it. Jared was not being very productive, kind of understandably, but I came over one day and I was like, I need two songs out of you?
Two. You asked for two.
I asked for two. I was like, I need two songs out of you. Or I'm going to remove your testicles or something to that effect. I threatened him with grievous bodily harm. And he was like, okay, fine, Jesus. And he, then I think the first one you wrote was, what was it?
It's a double wide bar?
It was double. Yeah, the first one was you and Dan did double wide bar, and then
because I was sad, and so I had to write a sad one.
No, wait, or was it Uncle Nate?
No, I think Uncle Nate was the second one.
Yeah, it was Uncle Nate was definitely the second one. The first one was double wide bar.
I bet we all remember it all differently because there was a lot of alcohol and other things involved during the process of that album.
Yes, all legal and above board. Understood.
Yeah, things that are legal in your state but may not be legal in our state necessarily.
That's okay. Louisiana's behind the times.
Either way, we all wrote those songs around a weird time, coming over COVID and breakups. Yeah. I myself was personally going through a divorce as well, so it was also a processing album for me. So yeah.
So even though the album is humorous and fun, there's a lot of emotion that went into it. You guys are just getting all this shit off your chest.
Pretty much. It was a distraction, if anything.
That's fair to say.
Yeah, it was a distraction for sure. It's like, all right, it's time to stop being depressing pieces of shit. And
sometimes you just need blowjob and pussy fart songs to drag you out of a depression.
Exactly.
It works. So, it is what it is, huh?
And sometimes you need, hey, don't forget, we also need, sometimes you just need men love. Don't forget about men love, y'all. Men love. She got us through a lot.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about men love. I bought this crappy car that ended up breaking down like 2 days after I bought it in typical Shreveport style. But in the trunk, there was a picture, like a framed picture of a stripper whose name was Min Love, and she had like signed it, but the frame was all broken, like the glass was broken, and we kept it. And
it was very dangerous to keep around.
And also there was also a little mini bottle of Fireball. Yeah. So that was our muse.
If that is not a sign from the heavens, I don't know what is.
This album is definitely dedicated to that definitely murdered stripper Min Love. That lady is definitely dead. There's no way she's still alive.
She's probably definitely dead now. Yeah.
I just love that there was a framed picture of a stripper and a bottle of fire. Wow.
We eventually threw it away.
Yeah, we did. After the album was over, it was like, all right, it's over. Oh yeah, the Fireball. Oh, the bottle of Fireball. Yeah, that came home from a night of really heavy drinking at a Super Bowl party.
Fair enough.
Really heavy drinking. Very heavy drinking. Anyway, so yeah, that's where that came from. I came home. I pulled in my jacket pocket, and there was one of those little tiny plastic Fireball bottles.
Yeah, little airplane bottles.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really drink that much, so that was a really heavy night for me.
So you guys found your muse. You found Min Love. She really inspired you deep down in your soul.
Definitely.
She was our dirt track trophy queen.
She was the dirt track trophy queen. I love it.
Rest in peace, Min Love.
So you start writing it up. How did you form the sound? How did you get it all going? What was your setup? Take me through your little process here of how you started recording this and making it really come to life, so to speak.
Well, so Kyle had, first off, if you're a musician, if you got a laptop, you can be recording music. It's pretty simple to do.
This is very true. It's easy.
It's very easy. You just got to get yourself a little digital audio workstation and get to getting. It's pretty simple.
And I assume there's a lot of free programs out there you can use as well, right?
It's definitely free programs.
Or is it better to invest in software?
Yeah, if you just to start out with, for sure. But eventually, save up a little scratch. It's not too expensive to get in like Logic or something like that, or FL Studio.
Right. What's the other one? Pro Tools. That's a pretty popular
Pro Tools. Yeah,
one, right?
That one.
Yeah.
We use Logic.
Yeah, that's what we personally use. But and then we just basically we got the equipment I have, we just kind of built over time.
Dan had a lot of like spare stuff that he had been holding on to that he contributed.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. You can buy used gear. Like it doesn't have to be fresh hot off the market. If you can find some good used gear and save some money, like that's really like the best way to make your own music on a budget. So buy a good preamp, which is what we use to hook up microphones for acoustic instruments or vocals. We use a good preamp. I think we also, I think we hooked the bass in through it. I think we pretty much made that whole entire album hooking it up through a preamp, through an interface, through the computer.
Nice.
It's just do your research. You get there's plenty of instruction out there online. You could just don't be afraid to make mistakes. Your first project is probably not going to sound good, but that's okay. Just keep doing it, and you will start sounding better the more you do it.
Yeah, practice makes perfect. I get that.
Exactly. Just be vulnerable. Be willing to accept that those first few projects are gonna not be your best, but the more you do it, the better it'll get.
Very nice. Did you guys set up your own little studio to get all this going in?
Yeah. We're just set up in one of these little back rooms in my house. I guess it's sort of a den / master bedroom that we just turned into a studio, because it's a big enough room to have some music equipment and to jam out and get your ideas going, record them, demo them, and practice. And then start getting them on the record.
Excellent. So I take it you were kind of the lead tech on this, in a way, the engineer, so to speak.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all helped each other. I got to give it to Slippery Dan. He has a lot more background in this, and he was a guiding hand in a lot of this. I'm a novice, so he has a lot of the musical experience here, and like I said, some of the equipment that I used was his before it was mine. So I gotta hand him a lot of this. Like, a lot of this album wouldn't have even been made without him. He played a lot of the instruments. He was there. He sat in a lot of sessions with me, just him and me, and just recorded bass, mandolin, banjo. Like shout out to Slippery Dan. So
Dan, tell us a little bit about this.
I mean, he's just right over there in the other room, but shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. I think I played a few too many instruments for one small album, but I was honestly trying to see how much I could squeeze in there. Like even on Truckin' Hard, the truck horn sound effect, that's me playing on a trombone.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's excellent.
I played what is Open D slide, electric guitar, acoustic guitar,
the synthesizer.
Yeah, the synthesizer. Bass, banjo.
And you got creative with this shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, I probably went a little too overboard for sure, but I just kind of wanted to see, it'd be funny to squeeze as many instruments.
He was the glue that stuck all these ideas together. Really, I mean, it was I did a lot of my work was in post-production once everything was recording, but the hardest part, which was actually the writing and the recording, he really he stepped up once the vocals and the rhythm guitar were down. It was it was just boom. he just came in there and just knocked it all out. It was really fun. It was quite invigorating. Here I am sucking Dan's dick. Blah 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 blah.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so take me
for sure it was a team effort, though. I mean, everyone worked.
Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
I'd say I did the least amount of songwriting.
Yeah, a lot of this writing came from Jarrett, right? Or Ruben?
Jared
Or
and Ruben.
both of you guys?
It was me and Ruben. It was like 50-50. Ruben
Yeah.
wrote this song Truckin' Hard, and he was gonna do it in like an Elvis style, and he was gonna sing it, and then I played it, and he was like, I think I want you to do this one. So that kind of became my song.
That's one of my favorite tracks too.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I had so much fun on that one.
You said you could play 2 of our songs. That should definitely be the other song you play besides Dirt Track Trophy Queen.
Oh yeah.
You got it. Trucking Hard and Dirt Track
Truckin'
Trophy
Hard.
Queen. You'll hear it here, right here on IPA Sessions very shortly.
Yes.
Truckin' Hard is it's a great song. Ruben, he definitely wrote a great song, and then between me, Dan, and the rest of the band, we really pulled it together and made it something else, man.
So did Kelly actually contribute to this album as well? Was he there for the making of this?
Absolute zero.
So Kelly actually came in. Kelly actually came in whenever we decided to premiere the album live, and we were like, "Well, we're gonna need like a live bassist because Dan's playing lead on everything else."
You mean Dan couldn't play 3 instruments at once?
I wish he could, but unfortunately, we had to have Cornbread suck our dick so that we could have him play bass.
Fair enough.
And we would have to start paying Dan more if he did that. So we're already broke. So
You guys are getting paid? If you want to become a musician to make money, boy, you picked the wrong game.
So overall, the writing process, getting together in the room to record, how long did it take you guys to kind of get everything together, actively working on this, and finalize the end result to put it out there to release it on streaming platforms?
I think it took like a year, right?
Well, we kind of started. We had a start on the album pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, and we kind of started staying away from each other. But it also worked as an outlet for us to polish up some more songs. And then once things started calming down, we finally got back in here. So really, all in all, you're looking at almost a whole 2-year process with all the halts and the speed bumps and the horse shit and but yeah, all in all, once we knuckled down, it probably took us about a year to get from recording the first demos to getting it out to the fucking world to laugh at or cringe at or
a little bit of both,
call a priest or something like that.
That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that with me, guys. Does anyone else have anything to say about the whole process? Anything you want to add?
Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Of course, there's more.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah.
If
you have a dumb idea, stop thinking about it as a dumb idea. It's as weird as that sounds, as like as a matter of fact as that sounds. If you have a dumb idea, see how far you can take it, and you might end up making as big a fool of yourselves as we have.
I love it. Embrace it. I mean, dude, the music is great. I love the album. It's fantastic. I mean, there is some talent in there. It's not just, you guys fucking around. I mean, you're really doing something here. It's excellent. I mean, there's a part where I know Jarrett gets out his fucking rap skills.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so funny story about that song. I did that song as a joke. So at the time I was living with Kyle, and he went out of town, and he was like, if you guys don't record something for this album while I'm out of town, I'm going to be pissed when I come back. And I was like, all right. So we did record some actual stuff for the album, but then I threw this rap beat together, and I called Ruben, and I said, hey, I have this dumb idea. Come and record this stupid rap song with me. And then when Kyle gets back, I'll just be like, hey, well, we recorded this for the album, and play it for him. And he came back and he heard it, and he said, oh, that's going on the album. And I was like, oh, is it? So we snuck it in there as the very last song.
Yeah, it's a nice little treat at the end. I loved it.
Oh yeah,
it was definitely fun. It was definitely fun to do live. That was for sure. When we did,
I bet
when we did the live performance of the album, yeah, we did costume changes. We turned into those characters. It was
that's fantastic.
Impressive.
One of the biggest mistakes we ever made was not having that show professionally filmed, because it was a bunch of people from Minden. It was in Minden, which is insanity. This churchy ass town had us come and just blast filth all over them. Outside, hot as fuck.
Blasting out to the world.
Yeah, the world. Children walking by could definitely hear it. And oh man,
they had police patrolling the area outside the area.
Once again, I'm shocked and amazed that you guys got a professional setup, got everything professionally done so that you could put on an actual approved performance in Minden. That's insane. Yeah. How many house parties did we get kicked out of?
The crazy thing is, like, we were invited to do that, and we were like, "Oh, we'll just make this the album release show." Like, it's crazy to me that like we make these silly ass songs, but like we have a pretty decent fan base for like being a little, Shreveport comedy country band.
Hey man, you put a smile on our face. What can we say? We love you.
We also have several people that hate us, but we'll let them buckaroo on out of here and go buck themselves.
You're not a real band if you ain't got haters. That's how you know you're making it.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, guys, thank you so much for sharing this whole insane process. I'm really impressed with how, again, and I keep iterating this, professionally done everything was. I'm so impressed with you guys. I'm so impressed with how mature and responsible and just so professional you were with everything.
Jacob, thanks for bringing us on your podcast to let people know what idiots we are. Jeez.
I just want you guys to be your authentic
selves. I can't believe how professional it is. Well, we grew up a little bit, Jake. It's fine. Just a little bit.
We all have to grow up. I love it. Hey, this is a podcast where I like to provide a platform for the indie artists, and you guys are the definition of true indie artists. You go out there and you just fucking do it, and you make that shit. Even though it's comedy, it's funny. You take that shit seriously, and I absolutely love it because this album, Hocum, is amazing. It is a concept album. It tells a story from beginning to end, and it's wonderfully done. You've got talented people on board. I know Kelly just joined, but I'm sure your live performances are amazing. So props to you all. And again, I'm very honored and incredibly happy to have you on here, not just because you're my friends, but because I really do love your music. I've always enjoyed it, and I knew you guys would go somewhere with it. So I'm so excited that you have this album out right now. Please go listen to it. There's going to be music on this session that you're listening to right now that they've been kind enough to give me to play right here on IPA Sessions. So thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Hey, we love your dick and butthole, man. And also, we're working on new stuff currently. It may already be out by the time this podcast comes out, but just follow us on all things streaming and all things social media, and keep up with some weird and hilarious new stuff that's definitely going to get us canceled.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, just taking a quick pause right here. As usual, the guests of the show have been kind enough to give us a song to let you guys hear. Now, please do yourself a favor, check out the album Hocum. You can find it on Bandcamp, Spotify, anywhere where you can stream music, iTunes, all that good stuff. And this song right now is going to be Dirt Track Trophy Queen, one of my personal favorites by the guys. Enjoy.
Well, her name was Linda, and she wore tight pants when she went down to the track. And when she would jump up and down, it would jiggle her rack. And when they waved that checkered flag, she'd run down to the car and take the driver to the alley behind the local bar. She was a dirt track trophy queen, just as fine as you ever seen. Little rough around the edges, but her pussy sure is clean. And if you want a number, man, you better drive one big machine. She is Linda with big old titties, dirt track trophy queen. Well, the years went by and Linda fucked every driver in the South. She had herself a couple dumbass kids and some herpes round her mouth. Well, she addicted to Quaaludes and the smack. And every dick that Linda sucked could stretch around the dirt track. She was a dirt track trophy queen, used to be as fine as you ever seen. Now she's just hanging around with the dumbass kids and trying to stay clean. But if some fella pulled up with a powerful machine, she would snort a rail and give him herpes, the dirt track trophy queen. Track trophy queen, just as fine as you ever seen. Little rough around the edges, but her pussy sure is clean. And if you want a number, man, you better drive one big machine. She is landed with big old titties, dirt track trophy queen. She is landed with them tig old bitties, the dirt track trophy.
If that just doesn't give you the taste of what is to come from the full album Hocum, I don't know what will. But that's Opossum, Where Art Thou, Dirt Track Trophy Queen from the album Hocum. Do yourself a favor. It's streaming. Go out there, listen to it, enjoy, have a damn good time, throw back a few beers, light one up if you got it, and you can thank Opossum when you see him in person. And now, back to the conversation. I'm going to get into some questions now. We're going to have some fun here. You ready?
Okie dokie.
All right, let's do it.
As a band, as a whole unit of 5 that you are, what would you say was the biggest challenge you had to overcome? Maybe it's still something that you're all working on.
Getting gigs.
Getting shows. Getting shows.
Definitely getting gigs, yes. Although I will say, since adding Kelly to the band, we've been getting Kelly's in with the punk rock crowd, and the punk rock kids seem to really like Opossum, Where Art Thou? So he's really helping us out, getting us gigs.
Hell yeah, great job.
I mean,
Kelly.
we got the open for Four in the Strange band, Coleman Williams,
Okay.
Hank Jr.'s grandson. Got
What
the
is
open
so
for
he's
JD
Hank 4 now? There's Hank 4 now?
Yeah. Four in the
yeah.
Strange band.
Okay.
JD Pincus from Butthole Surfers got to open for him.
Holy shit, that's awesome. All right.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Once again, just bragging at how professional you guys are. I'm blown away. All right.
You know, make a turd, they'll shit it out.
Yeah.
And again, I want to reiterate, we are not professional.
So the hardest part as a band is getting the gigs, trying to get yourself out there on stage, booking yourselves, putting yourselves out there. That's got to be tough.
For sure.
But I love that you found a way. You got Kelly to help you out, and thank you to the punk scene. Gotta love them.
Right.
Okay, so moving along. Once again, as a band, what is something unexpected that you had to face? Maybe it's something that you guys learned right in the moment. Take your time. You know, and look, if this is tough as a band, if it's something individual, if someone wants to share something as an individual being a part of this band that you did not expect, that it was completely caught you off guard, and you had to like right then and there, you're like, oh shit, I got to figure this out. Boom, you do it, or you just push through it.
You just gotta. I mean, really, with the way we operate, you know, basically, you know, some things are just, you know, bubble gum and duct tape, and you know, other things we absolutely have down. And so, you know, there aren't too many curveballs with what we're doing. We very rarely.
There will come one day, and I hope we're prepared for it for sure. Jeez, that was a good question.
That was a really
Jacob.
good question.
Yeah, I like to throw hardballs. Don't worry, that one always stumps everyone. That's why I like it. Dan's got the answer. Come on, Dan, what you got for us? What's unexpected?
Okay, like I don't know if this counts, but I've definitely like at live shows broken a string and didn't have a replacement with me and just had to like play in a different position or something. So it's definitely
That is definitely
Like,
unexpected.
live shows can throw you like, especially like for me, like I've made the mistake of trying to play like 3 different instruments at the same live show. Like, you can't do that, like not at the same time. But yeah, so that's kind of thing. Like I realized it's a little bit too difficult to. So yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend it.
Yeah, I gotta say that's probably like the main obstacle most live musicians come across is like equipment breakage, whether it's a string. One time I've had when I was playing in a metal band, my double kick pedal, the shaft that connects the 2 pedals just broke clean off. Like, so I had no useful double kick pedal. Luckily, in a situation like that, there's other bands who are kind enough to hand you their equipment and let you use them, and you just try to give the best performance you can, even though it may not be something you're used to. You just gotta, like you said, like we said earlier, push right through it. Like, I gotta say, that's probably
Learn
the
it in
biggest
the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest obstacle is just equipment just failing right in the moment you need it to work.
Yeah, me and
Yeah. What you
Ruben
got?
have definitely learned to check our 9 volts in our guitars after many a live show. We're like halfway through, the battery dies, and we're just like, oh, we have no guitar.
Yeah, so if you have
This is now acoustic.
if you have active pickups, always keep them extra 9 volts with you.
Well, I definitely agree, and I'm sure as you guys do that when you're performing, you go through a lot of setup. You take your time to make sure everything is ready, everything is perfect. So once you're good to go, you get the thumbs up and you start playing. Of course, I would expect that if your equipment breaks on you, that's unexpected. That is not something that you want to handle, and to be able to deal with that and learn how to work with through that in the moment, that's incredible. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So be aware, musicians, when you're performing live.
When we do have shows, I definitely, if I'm able to, I definitely just try to take off that whole day so I can just make sure that I get to where we need to set up early, get everything set up, make sure everything is working as best as it can.
So, okay, I'm going to take back that saying we do try to keep it a little professional then.
I was saying we do all that prep, and then we still end up having to drive back to the house or to the dollar store before the show to get batteries or cords that we fucking forgot because we're, high.
Professionals.
Professionals.
Well, we show up early because we're professional, but we forget things because we're high.
There you go. All right, moving along. So, one more tough question for you. What is a hard reality that you guys have had to deal with and accept? Something discouraging that you pushed through or resolved? And this could be something that as a band you've had to face where there is no fixing it, there's no changing it. You just have to accept this and move forward. What's a hard reality?
Well, I think in the last few years when we were making this album, a hard reality for a couple of us were definitely breakups, serious breakups. Like just knowing that, certain chapters in your life have to end and you just got to move on from that. And, whether you want to cut out certain things in that life or not, or keep certain friends around that you associate with that, I guess, relationship. Yeah, I guess that's the hardest reality for me personally.
No,
but
that's a hard reality.
I think with us, all of our harsh realities are very personal, and we very rarely bring anything to that. Like this is our break from the bullshit.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's a break from reality. Exactly. Like I said earlier, it's something to keep you distracted from whatever you're dealing with,
Well, I hate that personally you guys have hard realities that you have to deal with, but I do love that as a band.
Don't get me wrong. Everything's good now. Like I said, it was at that moment at that time. But
well, you're dealing with recording. You're dealing with trying to make something of yourselves while having a little bit of a downer, kind of doubting yourselves. I mean, that's a hard reality, is being like, am I not good enough? I get that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well, and I am happy to know that you guys have used this band as a way to embrace that hard reality and push yourself out there and still accept that you are good. You are definitely good enough.
Right.
Everyone has those personal hard realities. So it is nice and refreshing that as a band, thankfully so far, you haven't had to face a hard reality, unless Dan's about to change that.
Well, definitely a big one, and like anyone in the performing arts in the world can relate to COVID's taking away all our work, like all the gigs and everything.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
something that we all dealt, and especially like as right at the time that we were just starting to get a little bit more serious and want to, actually start booking bigger shows and more, just whatever kind of progress we were trying to make. And then COVID's kind of putting that on hold, I guess. But that's, I think, the starting point of making the album was the not being able to do live shows as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID is definitely a hard reality you can't accept. You can't change. You just have to accept, work around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of good musicians, from that era, some of them just like, it was just a hard year. We lost a lot of people from it, and it was good. Like I said, it was good to channel that out and make something silly and just kind of take your mind off of it and laugh. That's when you're going through something hard. It's just good to laugh. And we definitely had a lot of laughs making this album. It was a great.
Yeah.
Good old
and
time.
I think you guys were able to share those laughs with us because you definitely made me laugh. I love listening to it. So.
Right.
Yeah, some people, go through hard times and you get, good stuff like Jason Isbell writes. And then some people like us go through hard times and you get songs about meth whores.
Exactly. Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
There you go.
Right.
Put a smile
what
on
you
our
know.
face. Right what you know. Thanks, Men Love.
Thank you, Men Love.
Shout out Men Love.
Okay. All right. Enough with the hard questions. What is the most valuable takeaway that you guys have learned from your experience? Something that helped you grow and improve as artists, helped you grow and improve as a band?
Me personally, I think that I learned to just invest in the band, financially, as far as merchandise goes, because we make a pretty decent amount of money off of selling merchandise, a pretty decent amount more than we make playing shows. And so to take a little bit of money out of my little, paycheck and put it aside and then invest it in t-shirts and stickers is totally worthwhile in the end.
I love that you're the first person to actually give me a literal valuable takeaway. Thank you.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I was gonna say some cliche shit like "you can do it" if you put it out there.
But also set a little money aside, invest in yourself, and it's gonna pay off.
Invest in yourself. Yeah, that's excellent. I mean, that is great.
Really good advice.
Yeah, it's excellent advice. Does everyone agree with that too? Everyone on board? That's pretty much the most valuable.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I will also agree. Merch is everything. If you don't have merch to sell, you're going to play a show and you're still going to walk away with no money. If you got merch, that can actually save that day, that night. That could save that trip. That could pay for just selling merch could pay for your whole trip, whether you get paid for a show or not.
Yeah.
You got to have a product. You got to have something people can take home after the fact.
Yeah, something to remember you by too.
Doing live music and you're not selling a product that people can take home afterwards, you're doing it wrong.
Right. And I think the fact that you have your merch, you got people out there wearing your merch, listening to it, sharing it. That definitely puts you out there.
Oh, 100%. Dude, I see people out in the wild all the time in Opossum shirts, and I'm just like, hey, that's my band. And they're like, oh, yeah, I recognize you. I'm Shreveport famous is what I'm saying, okay?
Shreveport famous
that
is great.
Mean much, but I'm Shreveport famous.
That's right.
And
Big fish, little pond.
One of the first things we did to invest in ourselves was take an amazing design that Slippery Dan has. We call it Festus, with his butthole hanging out. The whole thing. You'll flash it up on the screen if you got it. And we made, I think the first round, I made 400 stickers, and we just started slapping them up everywhere. Every bar we went to, we would give people fistfuls of them. So at that point, we had only played at 2 bars. So, but that just having the possum's asshole everywhere, being some kind of weird Joker type of thing, gave us a little bit of mystique. And it's so people would see, on Facebook, if we have an event type of thing planned, they would see the asshole, and they're hypnotized by the asshole. They see it, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is the asshole!" And they get very excited.
That is fantastic marketing.
Yeah, we were big proponents of guerrilla advertising with those stickers. I would go into every bar and I would put them like when you flip up the toilet seat, there would be an opossum sticker right there.
Nice.
Because everyone's going to the bathroom in Shreveport because they're doing cocaine. Okay.
You can still
if
find
you're not
that?
putting your stickers to piggyback off of what my dear friend Cornbread said, if you're not putting your stickers on toilet seats, you're doing it wrong.
That's right. Tell him, Cornbread.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you for sharing that, guys. I love it. Oh, what's up?
That is where we belong.
Right there on the toilet? Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
I love it. I still need a sticker out here for myself, so I'll be hitting you up for that. I want that butthole sticker.
We'll send you a care package.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you'll get the whole shebang bang, buddy.
Yeah, free swag. So earlier we talked about the unexpected, things that just come up and that you have to deal with in the moment. But right now, as a band, I want to ask you, what did you guys want and or expect from this project? What did you want out of Opossum, Where Art Thou? What did you want from Hocum, the new album out right now, streaming? Go listen.
As far as the album goes, I mean, I just wanted to pump out the best possible concept album that I could, just surrounding this town that I invented in my head. And the idea in the beginning, of course, was much more grandiose. I had, I think I had 3 songs that just ended up in the garbage, just not able to use because they weren't cognizant enough, and this, that, and the other. And but I think in the end, when the chips were down and old Jared, Kyle, and Dan were in the editing room, I think they really made it all kind of come together in post, as they say in the movie biz.
Yeah, and to add to that, kind of part of the process too is like you get like, of course, we're all creative in our own way in a lot of similar ways too, but you get an idea and you have to do something with it. And so this, being a musician, especially being in a band, it's a pretty good outlet for it, having the album or just writing new songs in general. But we try to, approach it seriously instead of just having a funny idea. Like an idea isn't enough. It has to then become a concept, I guess, and then that concept can get turned into a song. Or usually that's how it works, right? And try to figure things out logically as well as be as silly as possible. If that makes sense. It's kind of a seesaw of silliness and cleverness.
Right. I want to laugh. I want to have a good time, but I want to be able to tap my toes and do a little dance if I can.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just like writing silly songs and going on stage and just having a good time. And like you said, making people in the audience tap their feet and laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're laughing with you and they're dancing at you. Was that right?
Yep.
They're also laughing at us.
Yeah. They're also laughing at you. Yeah.
And they're dancing in spite of us.
Right. All right, fellas. So this next question is kind of for everyone, so you can pass the mic however you see fit. But I just want to ask you all, what's your drive? What motivates you?
My drive is just having people, just being around people who bring out the most in me creatively. And I think with this group of guys, I've really found something special where I can throw garbage at them and they'll tell me, it's like, oh no, that's garbage. you need to put that in garbage. Don't throw it at us. Just, being in a creative environment where you're friends and you can be honest with each other. I think that was really just the end goal. I mean, it just started with me and Jared playing songs that, we heard when we were children at, these kind of divey type bars, and the creativity started coming forward whether we liked it or not, and we just had to build around that. So
I think that's probably the most wholesome, sweetest thing you'll ever hear from Ruben.
That's so true. But I just want to add one thing to that. You said he'll bring a garbage idea. Well, a lot of times, like, the way we try to work with each other is like, okay, even if it seems like from our end is a garbage idea, he saw something there that made him laugh. If it hits your funny bone, you still want to try to make it work. And usually if you approach something logical or just, as as a proper writer or whatever, or creator, instead of just things aren't going to randomly float into your head, right? You got to actually structure it and have a concept or whatever you want to call it.
Put effort into
like,
it.
Look, if even the worst idea, and we can turn it into something. And it's there's no such thing as really bad ideas that are so bad that we can't even use them.
I.e., on the new album, Left Hand Path.
That's a good one.
It turned into a good one.
But yeah, I mean, as far as me, I would say my drive is definitely music. Like, I've always just been into it, and I really enjoy like performing and using it as like an outlet, just for like emotionally and stuff. So yeah, that's that.
Jared, I really do actually appreciate you sharing your drive, because a lot of people may not know this about you, but we've heard the album. The album is excellent. You sound wonderful, but you actually do have a really beautiful voice. When you're hitting that deep, soulful shit, you sound so fucking amazing. I just want you to know that.
Man. Yeah, I do have the voice of an angel.
That's right.
I'm a little less humble these days. A lot of people have told me that enough to where I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm fucking great. I don't know what to tell you. I'm fucking great. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is.
Thank you. Yeah. Dan, you were saying a minute ago, what's your actual drive? Was
just my whole life I've played music. I guess I've always played music, and when you're a musician, I guess you gravitate toward other musicians, and other musicians gravitate toward you. So I guess it's really that simple.
So it's not so much a drive as it's just a magnetic force for you.
I've just always played music, man, since I was a baby. I can't imagine not playing music, so I tend to hang out with other musicians.
Yeah, Dan and I, before the whole Opossum thing, we played in another country band locally here in town with our friend Stephen Boutan, who he played the keys,
very
and
well.
Stephen Scott, who I think you also.
I remember that band. I was there for one of those shows.
Yeah, the Tilden Gillen band. Yeah,
the Tilden Gillen. Yep, good times.
If you're a musician, musicians tend to come towards you, and things just happen naturally.
You're speaking of the past. I'm so sad, because since you guys have been Opossum, I have yet to have the chance to see you perform but one time when I came to visit pre-pandemic for Christmas. Other than that, I've seen all the bands and all the incarnations of everything you guys have done for the last 15 years.
So you saw a Christmas show?
And I've only been able to see one Opossum show.
I kind of remember this. It was probably my drunkest Christmas show yet. And,
it was fantastic.
And
a tiny dive bar.
It was at the Dove. The Dove. It was Christmas at the Dove, and old Rube got drunker than the monkey's dick. And I think we cut the second half into like 20 minutes. It was supposed to be 2 hours, and I could only do 2 minutes.
Right. I remember that night. I introduced my girlfriend to my family and my friends, and boy, did she get an impression.
Is that not the same show where I microdosed everyone's beers and didn't tell you guys about it?
No, that was a different show. That was a different Christmas show.
We get wild at Christmas, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm aware. What you got for me, Kyle the Kang King? What's your drive, man?
Man, I've pretty much let everyone else to say. It's just like playing music with some friends. Like you gravitate towards people because you're a musician. But I mean, I guess the drive, what I really drive for, is like making musicians with friends that I can get along with, because and these guys, I get along with them great. I've been in bands before, and after a while, differences, and you just you break up or whatever, so because everyone has problems, but when you can find a group of guys that you can actually just get along with and collaborate well together, that's that's really my drive right there. It's like,
I love it.
Yeah, and making good music, like whether it's serious or silly, just whatever comes of it.
Right. What you got, Kelly?
His is pussy. Moving on.
I'm just here to chew bubble gum and eat ass.
Hey, there you go. That's a great drive. Thank you. Real punk of you.
Damn it! I was gonna say that next.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your motivation with us, fellas. And my last question is there any advice or something that you would like to say to anyone out there looking to do what you do? if there's anything you can say to any aspiring bands out there, what do you have for them? Drop some knowledge.
Go get a computer and just start making music. It's
Excellent.
that simple. It really is. Just get a computer and start
you got
making
the
music.
internet.
Yeah, just I mean, even if you're dead broke, just start a line of bad credit, go into horrible debt, and just do it. You just do it.
Don't do that.
Just fuck.
But okay, seriously,
let me revise. Wait until you're in your 30s and you're a little bit more financially comfortable, and then go get a computer.
Get your credit scored up to fair.
right?
Go get a computer and start making music. Okay.
Or you could just start off with the dirtiest, cheapest, crappiest equipment that barely works until you can afford something else. We've all done that before.
Yeah, check out your local pawn shops.
Yeah, right.
Or Craigslist,
Facebook Market, any of that. Your friend Slippery Dan.
But like Dan said, like if you have an idea, like just go for it, man. Just give it a shot. I mean, like Kyle said, your first stuff might not be that great. I definitely know that for sure. I definitely made Kyle help me record some songs over the last summer that aren't that great. But you know what? He sure was there for me when I was trying to be real sad and supported me.
Now we know
I obliged him.
Right. Now we know the real reason why there's not another album coming soon, just a couple of singles.
Maybe. I don't know.
Right, everybody good? All advice given?
What was the question again?
Any advice you want to give to someone?
We're high.
Yeah, it's all good. Any advice you want to drop for fellow bands out there, fellow musicians?
Get something on the internet as soon as humanly possible. Just get it on the internet and utilize social media as much as you possibly can, and just guerrilla advertisement. Find your local print shop and get a good design together. Make a sticker. Go plaster it fucking everywhere. Make your presence known. You just got to make your fucking presence known. And, even though we still have a hard time getting booked over here, we somehow always bust through a wall somewhere and, come through to the other side. Just don't stop trying.
Yeah, I see people that have the shirt on that have never even seen us live. They were just like, oh no, I just saw this shirt with the possum butthole and thought it was funny and bought it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Marketing at its finest, gentlemen.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I was just going to add to that too. I was going to say the same thing. Like like Kelly was saying, merch is everything. But of course, you have to have music that people want to listen to. But yeah, it's important. Like I think a lot of people when they're making merch, they want to just have anything with their band name on it. And so it's like, if they're a fan, they'll wear it. It's like, you need to have something, or at least hopefully you can at least try your best to put something together that even someone who, like Jared was saying, if they don't listen to your music, they might still wear the merch.
Right.
Like
Smart
Kardashian wearing Metallica shirts or whatever. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I'm sure they listen to Inner Sandman. Oh, man. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. This was a blast talking to you. My throat hurts from laughing so hard, probably from other things, just like poor Kelly Cornbread over there. But, I really appreciate the time that you've taken to come on the show and just share your music, share who you are with us, share your journey and your experience. I really appreciate it. And once again, this show is for you. This platform is for you. Please put yourselves out there. Where can we find Opossum, Where Art Thou? And where can we find you guys? How can we follow and help support and, help you guys grow as a band?
We are on Facebook and Instagram, as well as all music streaming platforms, including YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. And if you happen to be in the Shreveport or East Texas area, you might catch a gig with us if, we can find one. So just keep an eye out. We always announce our gigs and our new releases and everything on Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, find us there. Opossum, Where Art Thou? With the question mark at the end, and look for the butthole.
Look for the butthole.
Look for the butthole.
Always look for the butthole.
On all things streaming. Also, Facebook, Instagram, it's at OWAT Band, OWAT Band.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
At OWAT Band. That's how you find it on
Facebook
Instagram.
and Instagram.
Love it. And what about yourselves? If you want anyone creeping up in your DMs, where can they find you?
Yeah, Jared Everett, come find me. Slide in my DM. My girlfriend's not going to like it, but she'll beat you up. So, it's fine.
It's fine.
Ruben's married. Slide into Kelly's DMs. Kelly.
There
Slide
you go.
into
Kelly
Kelly's
Cornbread. Sign to Kelly's DMs. Here you go, Kelly.
Oh yeah, please slide up into my DMs. Oh yeah. Just find me at Kelly Legrone on Facebook.
Slide up in his DM for some BDSM. You know what I'm talking about, ladies?
I would love you all night long.
Oh my goodness. All right. Is that it for everyone? Everybody's good? Put yourselves out there. You happy?
I think we're good. Thank you. Thank you, Jacob.
The dogs are upset.
The dogs are
I
upset.
know. We got dogs here.
It's all good. Who doesn't? You're in Louisiana. Well, guys, thank you so much again. I can't say it enough. This was really fun. I love talking to you. For those of you listening out there, please do yourselves a favor. Go out right now. Check them out. Opossum, where art thou? With the question mark. Look for the butthole. Give them a listen on Spotify, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, any streaming platform you can find. And you know what? Get yourself a copy of that digital album. Help buy and purchase and support these guys so we can get them another gig somewhere live where they can perform and do costume changes for us.
Yes. Get us out to California.
Get us a California.
They said California is the place you ought to be, so we loaded up the truck and we came to your house.
I love it. Come on out here. We need you out here. We need some Opossum love out in California.
Fuck yeah.
We also play private parties. Well,
Bar mitzvahs.
we don't want to play children's shows, but but we will do anything for $200.
I love it. Well, you heard it here first. Opossum, we're out there. They'll do anything.
Hang tail, raise hell.
There you go. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I hope you found some inspiration. I know you definitely had a good laugh with us. Again, check them out. They're streaming on all streaming platforms. Go listen to them. Opossum, where art thou? These guys are great. Thank you, gentlemen. This was awesome.
Well, fuck your mom and dad. Bye.
Fuck you. Peace out.
Thanks.
Until next time, everyone, stay golden. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to rate and review and click that subscribe button for new bi-weekly episodes. As always, the theme music is provided by The Erica Page. Follow us on social media at IPA Sessions Podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now we have a TikTok and YouTube. All information and links are in the show notes, so show some love and support for these amazing indie artists. And if you'd like to come on and share your journey as an independent artist, reach out to me via email at ipasessionspodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, I hope you found some inspirations for practical application in entertainment.
I got deadlines to meet, time to hop in the seat, kick out Linda the lizard, put these ties to the street. 'Cause I'm trucking, baby, down the Blacktop Boulevard. And you know when I'm trucking, I'm fucking trucking hard. I got my cup filled up with ice cold Mountain Dew, a stick of jerky and a bag of chew. If I can make it to the trailer park, some methamphetamine should give me a start. 'Cause I'm trucking, baby, down the Blacktop Boulevard. And you know when I'm trucking, I'm fucking trucking hard. Keep trucking. Trailer park had done burned down. Old Uncle Nate at the best man in the town. Gotta get the PD back up on the street so I can make it to the dirt track next week. 'Cause I'm trucking, baby, down the Blacktop Boulevard. And you know when I'm trucking, I'm fucking trucking hard. Fucking trucking hard. Piss jugs all filled up, diesel 190 in my coffee cup. Faster I get there, the better my pace. So catch me flinging jugs down the old highway. 'Cause I'm trucking, baby, down the Blacktop Boulevard. And you know when I'm trucking, I'm fucking trucking hard. Yeah, I'm trucking, baby, down the Blacktop Boulevard. And you know when I'm trucking, I'm fucking trucking hard. And you know when I'm trucking, I'm fucking trucking hard.